All right, we're about to start qualifying in 10 minutes time. First group up is going to be the same as the practice group. So first group, Red Tails, the Cooks, and mid-air Fast. The main reason for that, we were going to be reseeding these groups, but we didn't have any live timing in practice. We had some serious issues, and we've done a bit of testing and some reconfiguring, and we're very hopeful that we're going to get timing this time. So fingers crossed, or there's going to be quite a bit of stress. Some of the specific stuff in qualifying to take note of for this session is the scoring. A team's qualifying score is the fastest single lap time from each of their pilots combined. So, for example, the Red Tails, if say FPV Dog managed to get a 25-second lap and then Ritalin managed to get a 30-second lap, their qualifying score would be 55 seconds. Q1, 15 minutes, Q2, 10 minutes, and Q3 is a 3-minute shootout for pole position. It all means something now. You don't want to be the slowest score in the session, or that's your flying done for the day. Take a look out to the field there. Looking in the pit lane, we've got Ritalin and FPV Dog pacing about, waiting to get quali underway. Mind in full focus mode. Pit stop, Manual 2 and TRC, Dipma Collision Repairs, All Road Adventure, TCL Urgent Couriers, Trade Zone New Zealand and Professionals, Foxton. And of course, HQPROP, the title sponsor of this event, providing the spec propeller for all teams. Red Tail Racers can be spotted with the pink propellers, the Cooks with the purple propellers, the Mid-Air Fast and Team IDK both sharing blue propellers, Flow State Racing, green propellers, and Divergence, yellow propellers.
All right, we are within the last 1 minute, so go ahead and plug in your drones and get ready to rip.
All right, so Q1 session begins now. You have 15 minutes, pilots. We have Riddler, Nil, and Slugus beginning the runs for their teams.
Let's go. We are live for our quali session. So for the start, first pilots racing for Q1. We've got Ritalin for the Red Tail Racers, Slugus for the Cooks, and Nil for the Mid-Air Fast. They are
the Cooks
our first
98.52
out on the track for their qualification runs. If for some reason we've all forgotten, I know it was mentioned 2 minutes ago, but
Red Tails
you're racing for the
111.98,
fastest
Mid-Air Farce
combined time for your team.
115.34.
And the slowest team is eliminated, and they do not.
The Cooks 26.85.
They do not have a chance to redeem themselves in Q2. We've got Mr. Nil on the ground rolling around right now, apologizing to Brian, but he's back in the air. Slugus
Red Tails
has
33.06.
a crazy time of 26.85.
The Cooks 24.21.
Bringing that down to 24.21. Meanwhile, Ritalin is ripping a steady 33.06. We'll see what he can do with lap 2. We can rack up quite a few laps in 15 minutes, but it'll be
Mid-Air
about
Farce
getting a
52.6.
fast lap for each pilot so you have the best chance
The
of
Cooks
qualifying well.
24.31. Red Tails 32.35.
Ritalin improving his time by 7/10-ish. Oh, exactly 7/10, actually. Once I do my slow math in my brain.
The Cooks
looks like Nil.
24.38.
Good pit lane speed from Slugus. Really
Red Tails 32.53.
setting a good example there. Chris getting a bit squirrely out on the main straight, but he's recovered. The nerves are
Mid-Air
really
Farce
high on
55.3.
these laps, because if you crash, you're done. You're done.
The Cooks 43.88.
Slugas has gone for the back-to-back strategy.
Red Tails
looks like.
37.93.
So he will have 2 batteries at least, and then we'll see if he brings in old Thixus to round out their lap time, because currently, as it would stand, they would technically not have a qualifying time yet. Red
Mid-air
Tail
Farce
Racing also opted
39.7.
for the
The
same
Cooks
strat,
23.21.
where Redolin will send another battery on his second drone. Slugas is actually cooking so hard right now. I can see why they called themselves the Cooks.
The Cooks 23.22.
100th of his best time that second lap. We can put that down to battery sag, I'd say, you know?
Red Tails 53.97. Pilot swap mid-air farce.
Mid-air Fast is swapping pilots. We're going to have Josh Nadeau firing it up.
Pilot swap the Cooks. The Cooks 28.88.
Slugas being a good boy and driving in slow on the pit lane. Very nice. We love to see it.
Red Tails 31.17.
PB for Redolin with a 31.17. We now have Thixus out on track, going to secure himself a lap time to actually give the Cooks an official qualifying time.
Red Tails 36.3. The Cooks 52.2.
Dive gate is damaged? The dive gate's damaged, but it's flyable.
Red Tails 31.24. The Cooks 33.38.
Red Tail Racers coming in. Chris also being a good boy and flying his drone slow into the pits. Who is going to wake up on the other side? Redolin is back up. We have yet to see a lap time from FPV Dog. They have 15 minutes, so there's
The Cooks
plenty of time.
31.12.
It's an interesting strat. We've got 8 minutes and 45 seconds left, so we're almost halfway through qualifying. Bit of a battle going on for Red Tail and Mid-Air Farce.
Mid-air farce
Redolin's going to have to find a place to pass,
195.2.
and he makes it happen
Red
at
Tails
the expense of a big
57.78.
tumble.
The Cooks 30.8.
Looks like he's either swapping drones or Mr. Dog is getting
Pilot
that dog
swap
in
Red
him,
Tail
and he's
Racing.
going to be flying. Looks like FPV Dog is goggles down. So we're looking forward to seeing his video feed. The Cooks have swapped quads, not pilots.
Mid-air farce 34.72.
FPV Dog is
The Cooks
doing a nice
50.3.
cruisy warm-up lap before he
Red
puts
Tail
stick to
60.61.
middle for the fastest lap we've ever seen, potentially, for
Mid-air
his
farce
run so far.
32.54.
Nice, clean lines, hitting all the apex of the corners. Mid-air fast, swapping drones.
Red Tails 27.14.
Going for the manual approach in pit changes by
The Cooks
unplugging, changing
36.81.
batteries, and putting the same quad out. We've got Thixus being a good boy in the pits. Coming in nice and slow, nice and safe. Swapping drones. He's going to stay out in the field.
Currently have 6.5 minutes remaining in the session.
Red Tails 28.91. Pilot swap the Cooks.
The current standings are Red Tail Racers with a combined score of 58.31 seconds.
Red
Mid-air
Tails
fast
27.39.
72.25 seconds. The Cooks with 54.01.
The Cooks 57.85. Mid-air farce 90.61.
All right, the Cooks have swapped back to Slugus, seeing if he can improve upon his PB of 23.21.
Mid-air farce 31.69. Red
They are
Tails
currently the highest
50.42.
qualified in this
The Cooks
session,
43.35.
with Red Tail Racers needing to pull together 4 seconds and 3/10 to be able to overtake them in the lead. But again, it's only one
The
pilot,
Cooks
only one team
22.67.
that gets eliminated from
Red Tails 26.95. Mid-air farce 35.49.
Slugus laying down a PB with 22.67. He is cooking right now. I'm scared. As a fellow drone
The Cooks
racer, seeing someone
22.23.
fast is scary, genuinely.
Red
And
Tails
he's better this time once
24.34.
again with a 22.23. Chipping away at that combined score.
Mid-air farce 31.35.
We got some clacky drone
The
sounds
Cooks
from Josh Nader.
23.12.
The classic Floss
Red Tails
3L slotted
23.66.
arm thing where the arm delaminates, and if you clip something, the motors get too close and the propellers decide to clap each other. We have 3 minutes and 38 seconds. So if you need to improve, if one of your pilots is not currently flying and needs to improve, you're going to want to send them out after this lap.
The Cooks 39.6.
Hey, Josh Nader.
Red Tails 41.04.
Technical issues.
The Cooks 26.36. Red Tails 23.55.
Yeah. Slugus going out again for the Cooks. Getting valuable track practice at this point.
Red Tails 23.35. The Cooks 41.34. Red Tails 22.19.
Big slam from Slugas, but he recovers.
Mid-air farce 139.22. The Cooks 25.84.
Dougie taking the lead on fastest individual lap with a 22.19. That is versus... Ooh, that means there's only 0.3
The
of a
Cooks
second between the
21.67.
Cooks and Red Tail races.
Pilot swap
he's
Red Tail
cracked
Racing. Red
The
Tail's 47.8.
Slugas has cracked the 21.6, bringing them to a sub 53 lap. We've got 1 minute remaining, pilots.
The Cooks 21.93.
Yeah.
All right, we're approaching the 30-second mark.
Red Tail's 46.94. The Cooks 36.06. The Cooks 25.87.
And that is
Red
us
Tail's
done.
30.24.
Finish your laps. Come land in the pits. And, yeah. Good job, team. Very close racing between Red Tail Racers and the Cooks.
Still got one drone on track, so remember to stay in your boxes. Riddle and Cook in here on his final run in Q1.
Red Tail's 28.57.
And that was a PB for Riddle.
Yeah, boy.
Improving the Red Tail Racers time significantly at the end. That's probably going to be enough to take the P1 spot off the Cooks. It is.
All right, after Q1.5, the first half of Q1, we have Red Tail Racers in TQ with the Cooks in second
Session
and Mid-Air Fast in third.
Well, that was quite an exciting session. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Gang Gang?
It was insane.
Just seeing everyone just consistently improving on their lap times as the session went on. Alrighty, guys. So on that note, we've just finished the first group of Q1, and we'll get the second group into Q1. So looking at the current scores for the three teams that have just flown, we have the Red Tail Racers currently sitting in the provisional top spot with a qualifying score of 50.69, followed by the Cooks with a qualifying score of 52.47. The Mid-Air Fast currently in the bottom spot with a 71.05. So currently the target to beat in Q1 is a 71.05. You don't want to be at the bottom or you're knocked out. So the Mid-Air Fast are now watching closely to see if other people beat them. Yeah, so for the divergence, we're going to be seeing Kestrel flying first in this session. We've got Gang Gang first for Flow State Racing powered by Quad Junkie. And for Team IDK, we have EB going first in this session.
Okay, the time is now the time is 1:25. You have 15 minutes when I say go. Go. Your 15 minutes has started now. Countdown timer is timing. You may take off. Gang Gang first in the air with the Flow State Racers. No, your entertainment now. You're it.
Alrighty. You've got Nil here to help with all of the talking stuff. Kev reckons I'm entertaining. So up first for Divergence, we've got Kestrel in the air. Flow State Racing, powered by Quad Junkie, we've got Gang Gang.
I don't know
Team IDK, we've got
89.14.
EB.
Flow state 89.61.
It's a tight first lap. Team IDK coming in with an 89.14 and Flow State Racing with an 89.61.
I don't know 25.67.
They've picked
Divergence
up the pace there.
117.99.
25.67.
Flow state
And Flow
28.89.
State coming in with a 28.89 for their first flying lap.
I don't know 24.97.
Team IDK picking up the pace at 24.97.
Flow
Welcome,
state
Flow State.
28.24. Flow state.
A 28.24.
Divergence 38.6.
Flow State will be in this lap to change their pilots. And first lap on the board for the Divergence, a 38.6.
I don't know 32.27.
Ooh, a bit slower there for Team IDK.
Flow
with
state
32.27.
29.03.
Probably a bit of a mistake in the lap somewhere. And that's Flow State landed and Quato
Divergence
is up for his stint.
33.3. I don't know 23.69.
That's the Divergence picking up their pace with a 33.3. And Team IDK with a 23.69. The fastest lap time of the session.
Divergence 33.58. Pilot swap
Flow
team I
state
don't 49.1.
And that's a pilot swap on the next lap for Team IDK. They currently have the top time of the session with a 23.69 with 12 minutes remaining.
Flow state
And now we have
27.49.
Crazy Brain up. Let's see what he can do. Try and get the first time on the board for qualifying. And that last lap for Quato was a personal best for their team, a 27.49.
Flow state 25.8.
Picking up
I
the
don't
pace
know
again to a
83.21.
25.81.
Divergence
Flow State Racing.
56.7. Pilot swap flow state.
There you go, Quato's been out.
Flow state
He's done the business and he
26.1.
is coming in. Switching pilot.
Divergence 32.32. I don't know 36.74.
So we are 4.5 minutes down in the session, so there's just over 10 minutes left in the session.
Yeah. Kestrel really picked up the pace on that last lap, a 32.32. That's the fastest for them for the session.
Divergence 39.16.
And
Flow state
Kestrel is coming in for a bit.
49.18. Pilot swap divergence. Flow state 26.24.
You're now watching the only pilot on track is Gang Gang with Flow State Racing, powered by Quad Junkie. That is his quickest time of the session, a 26:24.
Flow
that
state
lap time
28.88.
from Gang Gang
Pilot
moves the
swap flow state.
Flow State Racing into P2. They've passed the time for the Cooks by half a They've still got 2 seconds to make up if they want to catch up to the Red Tail Racers. There's plenty of time for that to come, though.
Flow state 26.44. I don't know 120.5.
And Gang Gang has killed that battery, and he's coming in.
I don't know 26.94.
And that puts a time on the board for Team I Don't Know with a 50.63. That puts them ahead of the Cooks and Flow State Racing.
Flow state 43.56.
And within 0.1 of a second of the Red Tail Racers.
Divergence 133.75. I don't know 25.49.
And Crazy Brain betters his time again
Flow
with a
state
25.49.
24.31.
That moves Team IDK into P1.
Divergence 28.25.
And that's a
I don't know
24.31 for Quayle. That is
27.69.
the fastest time for them for the session. That puts them ahead of Red Tail Racers, but just behind Team IDK.
Flow state 30.05. Pilot swap flow
And
state.
Spastic has just got the best time for divergence for this session with a
Divergence
28.25.
29.71.
And we got Gang Gang up for another session. They're going
Divergence
to improve over a second
26.89.
to take that P1 spot back from Team I Don't Know. And as we tick over, 6 minutes remaining.
I don't
teams.
know 68.94. Flow state 55.29.
And Spastic has just done a killer time, 26.89. But I see he is lights out. They are swapping packs.
Flow state 26.15. I don't know 32.34. Divergence 68.94. Flow state 26.7.
There was 2 really clean 26s by Gang Gang for Flow State Racing. And they'll be in this lap for a pilot change.
Divergence
And that's Spastic has
25.9.
just come in with a 25.
Flow state 26.16.
And we've got Gang up for another battery.
Divergence 27.15.
He's going to want to try and pick up his time a bit closer to Quato's here. Try and close that gap to Team I Don't Know. That is sadly not going to help his case. Right, we're about to tick over 3.5 minutes left, pilots. And we still have 2 people on track. We got Spastic and Quato. Spastic's going to want to get another lap, the same as that 25.91 if he can.
Flow state 89.14. Divergence 68.31. Pilot swap flow state.
That was an amazing lap that Kev had just started. Unfortunately, the dive gate got the better of him.
Spastic with a huge tumble out by the shed. He was going so well as well. These are heater laps. Looks like Spastic has returned to his form.
Pilot swap divergence.
It's 2019 all over again. Oh. Gang.
And he's back in the air. He's got plenty of time to start another flying lap. 2 minutes left, pilots.
Not much shake-up in the times at the moment. We've got
Flow state 68.78.
Team IDK still sitting in P1. Flow State Racing right on their tails. And Redtail Racing are in third. If Flow State can pick up another 0.6 of a seconds over both their pilots, then they will go into that P1 spot. But they need to keep it in the air.
Flow state 25.53.
That is a quicker time for Gang. His previous best at 26.15. That last lap at 25.53. That is what he needs to be doing.
Divergence 107.08.
They are now half a second.
Flow state 25.28.
Behind Team IDK for that first spot.
Remembering this is only Q1. We've still got 2 more qualifying sessions to go after this.
This is a clean looking lap from Gang. Can he pull off another 25?
I reckon, Sam, this is looking good. If he can hold it together.
Flow state 25.17.
That is his quickest time of the session.
Another 0.1 off.
Divergence 39.56.
That puts you 49.48. IDK is 49.18. And 20 seconds remaining, pilots. 20 seconds. Here comes Kestrel to finish a lap.
Divergence 32.25.
And that is a PB for Kestrel. That brings another second off their total time.
And that is time up. Well done, everybody. Finish your laps and land, please. Kestrel, you can finish this lap. I would say no hurry, but hurry! Go faster! Faster!
Divergence 31.28.
31.28 for Kestrel.
Which is another second off his top
That is
time.
another second off his best lap time. That brings the divergence to a 57.19. Flow State Racing a 49.48. And Team IDK taking the P1 in that session with
Race
a
over.
49.18.
Oh, there we go. We got the quali scores up on the stream actually from Q1 there, so you can see your individual lap times and your team score total. So we'll just have a look at Red Tails. We had Redolin getting a 28.5, and FPV Dog getting a 22.19. Flow State Racing, Gang got a 25.17. Quado got a 24.31. The Mid-Air Fast, Nil got a 39.7, and Josh Nader got a 31.35. Team IDK, another very close team. Crazy Brain 25.49 and EB 23.69. The Cooks, Lucas with the fastest lap of the day so far, 21.67, with Thixis with a 30.8. If Thixis is able to shave another 2 to 3 seconds off his time, that would shoot the Cooks straight into first place by a lot. Then we have the Divergence with a 57.19 total, 25.91 for Spastic, and a 31.28 for Kestrel. Very good, very respectable and quick times from everyone. All right, fellas, we're only about a minute or two away from starting the first session in Q2. Remember, guys, this operates the same as Q1, except now you don't have 15 minutes, you have 10 minutes. Q2. So we, unfortunately, we have lost the Mid-Air Fast from qualifying so far, but we still have our IDK, Flow State Racing, Red Tail Racing, Divergence, and the Cooks fighting for a spot in Q3. Remember, the slowest team at the end of Q2 will not make Q3, and they will be with the Mid-Air Fast and the B-Main tomorrow. And we're underway, guys. Q2 has started. You are free to fly.
All right. We are back in the air with the Cooks, Red Tail Racing. Oh, Red Tail Racers and Team
79.47.
IDK.
I don't know 82.8.
First pilot's up at Crazy Brain. As Crazy Brain for
Red
Team
Tails
IDK.
89.36.
Redolin for Red Tail Racers and Slugus for the Cooks. A very similar strategy. Unfortunately, seeing IDK take a tumble that could leave one of their drones out in the field
The Cooks
for the rest of
25.08.
Q2. Slugus opening things up with a 25.08.
Red Tails 30.82.
And then a 30.82 from Redolin for Red Tail Racing. Solid beginning to the session. We do only have 10 minutes. Now it's 8.5 minutes to smash out your fastest laps and combine them once again. And the slowest team from this run will be eliminated out of Q3.
Red Tails 28.96.
Slugus is down to one drone as well as Crazy
I don't
Brain.
know 71.38.
Slugus, at the end of this lap, I will have the Cooks taking a 1 minute penalty for that speedy pit exit. So when you finish this pack, Slugus, no one flies from your team for a minute.
All right, that's got to be the first penalty of the day.
The Cooks
Remember to control your pit
45.22.
speeds, people. We're
Red Tails
penalising now. There's no more warnings.
29.06.
We want you to be
I
good
don't know
boys in the pit lane.
25.61.
Crazy Brain keeping it nice and smooth on the track.
Cooks 22.8.
Coming around for their
I don't know
fourth lap of the
24.02.
session. Slugus is still ripping it. And Redolin's still out there
Red
taking
Tails
charge, coming in for a pit.
35.52.
We will see if it's a pilot swap or if it's just a drone swap.
Pilot swap team I don't know. Pilot swap divergence. The Cooks 22.87. I don't know 23.7.
Redlin being a good boy in the pits, going out for a second back-to-back pack. Cooks holding fire for their 1 minute penalty.
Redtails 50.54. I don't know 46.3.
All right, Cooks can go once again. Redlin with a sketchy gate clip, but manages to keep it in the air.
Redtails 34.15.
Yeah.
Redtails 28.9.
All right, Team IDK is now being represented by EB on the track with his cool font.
The Cooks
Getting a bit squirrely out there.
121.71.
The Cooks Thixus is cranking right now. Looking to be on his first actual accurately timed lap after the penalty and pit swap.
Pilot
We
swap
have-
flow I don't know 92.61.
We have less than
Redtails
4 minutes,
39.88.
5 minutes remaining.
The Cooks 28. Pilot swap divergence.
Thixus coming in for a pit. Is he going to be a good boy and be slow on both pit entry and exit? FPV Dog being a good boy,
I don't
exiting
know
the pit.
24.26.
And Team IDK coming in, getting a bit squirrely on the entrance there. Nice. Very good. Seems like the penalty is working. We got
Redtails
FPV Dog
46.55.
cranking it out there. One of the fastest races consistently for the last eternity of drone racing in New Zealand. He has consistently been on the top, no matter how young the children are that are getting into the sport behind
I
him.
don't know 42.55. The Cooks 61.17.
Age is no thing for this brain
Redtails
of FPV Dog.
23.92.
Literally the oldest drone racer.
We
He's
have
so old.
just over 3 minutes remaining in Q2 for Group 1.
Nah, I shouldn't say it like that. Approaching the 3 minute mark.
I don't know. Pilot swap team I don't know. Redtails 22.92.
Team IDK taking a tumble mid-track. So far, if my calculations are correct,
The
they
Cooks
are down to 1 drone
39.73.
each.
Pilot swap divergence. Pilot swap team I don't know. Redtails 27.75.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'd call a good boy pit stop. Look at that. Leading
The
by
Cooks
example.
29.54.
Your pit stops want to feel like you're trying to hover as you land.
Redtails 43.07.
That was exactly what we want to be seeing, EB.
The
Very
Cooks
nice.
40.38.
And we're down to 1:30.
Red Tails 22.86.
Yeah, I think he got all of these laps after that 121 lap. That's yeah.
Red Tails
All right, we're
22.72.
approaching the 1
The
minute
Cooks
mark.
33.55.
Holy fuck. You guys can go again now.
And a midair
Red
from
Tails
the Cooks.
22.67.
Absolutely cooking it. Oh, FPV Dog, that is a sketchy entrance into the pits. At the start, at least. I'm happy with what I saw for the rest of it. All right, we're down to the last 20 seconds.
I don't know 168.74.
Reading from a live text file.
3, 2,
Red Tails 42.96.
finish your laps.
The Cooks 68.56.
And bring it in at the end of your lap, guys.
I don't know 24.75.
Remember to slow down in the pits before the pit entrance gate. Before the pit entrance gate.
Red Tails 22.14.
We need to have some discipline, guys. I know it can get out intense out there, but the pit lane is always the pit lane.
GG. Bit of a rough one for some, but once we cook up these bloody times together, we'll have some results to share.
All right, so looking at the scores after that first group, we have Team IDK with a blistering run, improving on their Q1 time. They now have a 47.71 team score in Q2. That's a 24.02 for Crazy Brain and a 23.69 for EB. And second currently is the Red Tails with a 51.04. That's Riddlin with a 28.9 and FPV Dog with a 22.14. And then we have the Cooks in third, only 0.5 behind with a 51.69. Slugus getting a 22.81 in that run, and Fixus running a 28.88. So pretty much Slugus and FPV Dog's time was the same, and Riddlin and Fixus's time was the same. So very, very evenly matched teams there.
It's me in the commentary with that guy. It's Nil.
This guy.
Yep.
It is nil.
How's your day going today, Nil?
We qualified. We got a time on the board. To be fair, that was our goal.
You got a time on the
We
board?
got a
Yep.
time on the board.
Pilot's nervously pacing. You can see Hans there, looking good in the stream. Hey, Hans. The pit crew that was needed, these guys had a bit of a rough start to the day. Hans came in clutch. All right. You want to kick us off, Sam?
Alrighty. That is 20 minutes past 2. That's going to signify the start of the session. So, pilots, when you are ready, you may take off.
The timer has begun. You are clear to take off. Remember, based on the penalties from the last session, watch those pit lane speeds, entering and exiting. Quato, very good boy there. Good speed on the exit. Kestrel, also very good speed. Thank you.
Both pilots up there now, just trying to get a feel for the track, get back in the groove. And Quato's going to start his
Flow
first
state
push lap.
194.7.
Kestrel having a little bit of a bobble there. He'll be back on form any moment now. Clean first half of the lap for Quato. This is going to be a nice time on the board.
Flow state
First lap at
26.83.
26.83.
Divergence
And here's Kestrel up for
226.04.
his first push lap.
Flow state 25.26.
And Cueto backing that 26.83 up with a 25.26.
Excellent vision of the commentator's curse right there, Sam.
Pilot
Swap.
divergence
Finally, I get to
39.63.
repay that. Flow state coming in this lap for a pilot swap. You can expect to see Gang up any moment now. Kestrel's first lap, a 39.63. A little bit off his pace for the
Flow
day,
state
but this lap looking a
36.23.
lot cleaner. And here comes Cueto into the pits. Nice and slow. There's an example to follow. And we've got a live picture from Gang.
Divergence 38.37.
Kestrel, 38.37. That is slightly quicker than his first lap. But he's going to hope for a slightly quicker time in his next stint.
Flow state 51.75.
And Gang onto his first push lap. That dive gate taking out a lot of people today. But that has not slowed Gang down. He's immediately back in the groove and in for another quick lap.
Flow state 30.3. Divergence 62.71. Flow state 27.33.
A 27.33 for Gang. Showing that dive
Pilot
gate
swap
has
flow
been
state 32.51.
And a 32.51 for Kestrel. That's his PB for the session.
Flow state 26.82.
And Gang betters his best time at 26.82, and he is coming into the pits.
Divergence
And
30.02.
Cueto's up. That is a properly fast pilot change. We are halfway through the session now, pilots. 5 minutes remaining.
Flow state 41.94. Divergence 42.7. Flow state
A
23.87.
23.87 for Cueto. First fast lap out in this session. That puts Flow State Racing in P1 so far for this session. The total time for Flow State Racing is currently sitting at a 50.6.
Flow state 23.55.
4 minutes remaining.
Pilot swap
pilots.
flow state.
We're probably going to want to start seeing Spastic get ready for to get his lap on the board.
Divergence 58.07. Flow
And
state
Guido coming in to stop for a pilot
24.61.
change. And we've got Gang up. Nice slow pit exit speed. Everyone can take note from that.
Divergence 40.19.
And we have Kestrel coming in this lap. Is this for the pilot switch with just under 3 minutes remaining? And Spastic, it looks like he is plugged in.
Pilot swap flow state.
And we've got flow state switching pilots. And that is lights out for flow state. Second drone is up.
Pilot
ready to
swap
go.
flow state.
2 minutes remaining, team.
So we got
And we have got Spastic going up. He's going to need to make the absolute most of the next 2 minutes.
Spastic is fighting for his team's position in the competition at this point. If he does not whip out looks like a 19-second lap, their team is going to be eliminated from the qualifying round.
No pressure. None at all.
Flow state 123.42. Divergence 93.02.
Let's go, Spastic. Let's go. Whoop!
Flow state 26.97.
Spastic giving
Divergence
everything at
29.34.
29.34. And he's coming in this lap. The divergence are on the board now. However, they're about 10 seconds off the next position.
Flow state
And with 44
26.32.
seconds left on the race timer. Flow State Racing has got the position 1 in Q2, followed by Red Tail, and then the Cooks. Divergence still need to make up a lot of time in order to resist elimination. Oh no, Spastic's gone lights out on the straight. Looks like it was an RX loss. I know that feeling.
Flow state 26.52.
That's a 26.52. That is a PB for Gang for this session.
Pilot swap flow state.
And 5 seconds, pilots. 1. And that is the end of the session. Please finish your laps and land.
Oh, normally that would be a penalty, but we'll just call that a crash.
And we've got Kestrel still up, trying to finish off this last lap of his qualifying session. Nice clean lines. That's what we like to see.
You sure did.
Just under a second. Is that what the penalty applied?
So reading out the top times from Q2, we have the Divergence with 61.
Divergence
We had the
115.52.
Cooks with 51.69. Nice. Slightly ahead of them was Redtail Racers on 51.04. And then in first place, Flow State Racing with 50.07 seconds. So you're
Kestrel,
0.07
we'll get you to finish
off
this lap and land,
sub
please.
50.
Kestrel, please land at the end of this lap. The time is up.
My mistake. I keep missing Team IDK there in white. They actually got Q1 for this one with a 47.71. Yeah, the commentary team are still learning.
Divergence 39.88.
Thank you, Kestrel.
And with Kestrel coming into land, that should clear the course. Once he's landed, teams may go and collect their broken drones. That's track clear. Thank you, everybody.
Teams.
Race over.
All right, Q3 will be starting at 2:45, and that'll see everybody except for the Divergence, who remain, so Cooks, IDK, Redtails, and Flow State, fighting for pole position now. So we have our mains. We now know the race grids for tomorrow. So the B main is going to be Divergence versus the mid-air fast in the B main. And then in the A main, we will have Redtails, Flow State, the Cooks, and Team IDK. So we have one more 3-minute session today to figure out who gets pole position. Currently, based on current form, we're looking like an IDK pole. They have a 2-second lead over second place from Q2. But there is only 3 minutes for both pilots to get time, so anything could happen.
All right, pilots, we're going live in 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the session is live. Had a bit of a dodgy start there for Flow State Racing, and the Cooks had a bit of a bobble as well. FPV Dog off to a flying start as expected. Super clean. EB not far behind, also with some nice
Redtails 240.15. I don't know 243.26. Pilot swap Redtail Racing. The Cooks 246.47.
At the end of this lap. The dive gate is down. Should still be flyable.
I don't know 25.9. The Cooks 24.32.
25.91 for Team IDK. And we've got a 24.32 for the Cooks.
Flow State 284.73. The Cooks 21.92.
All right, teams, we've got 1.5 minutes left of this session.
Pilot swap team I don't know. Flow State 26.3. Redtail 79.24. Pilot swap Redtail Racing. The Cooks 49.97. Redtails 24.23. Flow State 49.94. I don't know 92.81. The Cooks 36.19. Flow State 24.87. Red Tails 44.92.
All right, 5 seconds remaining. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is this session done, pilots. Please finish your lap and then land.
I don't know 26.09.
What did EB get? He was at 25. What did Quato get?
Red Tails 39.11. Flow State 47.75. The Cooks 57.6.
Kevin, after the time finished, if they finish the lap within like 20 seconds or whatever, does that count? Whereas when time stops? Wait, old school. So
The Cooks 33.12.
Fixus, we'll need you to land, please.
Alrighty then, let's bring up the qualifying scores after, where are they? Where have I got the quality score thingy? Quality scores, look at that. So after Q3, we have, starting at the bottom in 4th place, we have the Red Tail Racers with a team time of 63.34 seconds. Qualified in 4th in the A main. So, and then in 3rd position, with a 60.51, we have the Cooks, third place qualifiers. And then in 2nd place, 51.42 and only 0.2 of a second behind 1st place is Team 80K. And in pole position with a 51.17, we have Flow State Racing, powered by Quad Junkie. Well done, Quato and Gang. You're better than everyone. It is on you now. Look at that. Dang. Number 1. Pole position for Flow State Racing. No, that was very well done. So a little bit of story time there. We had a bit of technical issues at the beginning of Q3, but somehow managed to sneak in front of IDK by a couple of tenths. Very, very tight times. The racing tomorrow is going to be pretty crazy, looking at how close the teams are. So there's no way you can really guess who's going to win this race. It's just going to come down to who makes the least mistakes and has all their processes on point during the race, really. I think it's going to be the real point of difference because pace is really similar.
Alrighty, so we are at the end of day 1. We've just finished our qualifying, and one of the prizes we're giving out at the end of day 1 is for the fastest team in qualifying. They pushed through qualifying 3, they pushed through qualifying 2, and before we announce them, we'd like to thank our sponsors. We've got the Professionals, we've also got Pit Stop Palmerston North, Dittmer Collision Repair, Trade Zone, Tournament Couriers, All Road Adventure, the Professionals Foxton, and Manawatu TRC Toyota. So here it is, the winning team, top qualifying team after day 1 is the Flow State Quad Junkie Racing Team. Give them a big hand, here we go. We've got team member Kuwaito. Kneel down, boys. Well done, Kuwaito. And team captain Jackson. Excellent management. And congratulations, Hans. Congratulations. Yeah, pit crew.
I just want to say thanks to Hans. Without Hans, there's no way I could have done this. I want to thank Gary at Quad Junkie. I want to thank my mum and dad, and of course Thomas and Paul Bitmata, BMS Racing. Oh my God, this is too much. I can't handle it. This is the best day of my life.
Well done, team. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for coming out. We'll see you same time, same channel tomorrow on the stream. DRONEGP, here we go.
Yeah, so thanks very much, Mr. Riddlin, for helping run the show. Thanks very much for Mr. Nil, Mr. Josh Cato, Mr. Gang, all helping me run the system. There was quite a lot of work to do in quali with regards to keeping track of the scoring. Won't have to do that in the race, thankfully. You'll just have to be keeping an eye on things like penalties and whatnot in the race, pretty much, and making sure people aren't skipping the track, etc. I just want to thank everyone for joining in on the stream. If you joined in on the stream, I got no idea what the stream even looks like, to be honest. It might even be trash and unwatchable for all I know. But either way, we're getting a good recording, and as per usual DRW tradition, I will edit that up into a more condensed version of the event.